Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I am super excited to be showing y'all a recipe on my new Avalon Bay air fryer. So I have been seeing people rave about air fryers like all over Keto, like Facebook groups, there's like cookbooks. This is apparently the new hot item to, you know, cook your food in. It's like frying foods without oils. It's like hot air circulation that kind of mimics the fried food feel. I recently got my Avalon Bay air fryer, and today we are going to make some steak roll-ups in the air fryer. This recipe I have not tried before, but it looks like it's going to turn out absolutely phenomenal. I'm gonna make dinner for everyone, and hopefully it won't take me very long at all. So without further ado, we are going to jump right in. Let me show you what you need for these steak roll-ups and how to make them. Let's go. To make this keto steak roll-up recipe, you only need a couple of ingredients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then salt and pepper if you want to really technically count those, 7. So, originally I saw a recipe that called for a flank steak, which is a long, thin piece of meat, but my grocery store does not carry those. So I got basically these, I don't know, they're calling them tip steaks, I don't know, but they're very flat, thin steaks, and there's 3 of them. I figured I could do 1 for each person of the family. You're gonna need some roasted red peppers. I just found these in a jar. The next thing you will need is some basil pesto, or just some pesto. I found this in the pasta aisle. It was the lowest in carb. For 1/4 of a cup, it has 5 grams of carbs, but we're not using nearly that much, so we are a-okay. Next up, I have a bag of spinach. This one has seen its better days. Some of the spinach is going bad, but there's plenty of stuff on top that'll work just fine for this recipe. Last but not least, we are going to get some provolone cheese. This is just, you know, your average provolone. And some salt and pepper to season this right up. I'm using the pink Himalayan sea salt because it's just what I like to use. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, while I am cooking, I have Alexa jamming me out to some Christmas music. Alexa, resume.
3. Say hello to friends you.
For now, I am going to walk you through how to make one of these steak roll-ups. So I moved 1 piece of meat from the meat tray onto my cutting board. Make sure to go wash your hands with warm water and soap because you never want to contaminate raw with ingredients that are not cooked. Just a little meat science major Katherine coming out right here. Alright, so we've got our steak down. Next up, we're going to do about a tablespoon or a scoop, is what I'm doing, of this basil pesto. I put a spoonful of the pesto on the steak, and then I'm going to use a 2nd spoon to rub this all over the meat. The next thing I'm going to do is take 2 slices of provolone cheese and lay them down in the middle. The next step is pulling out some of these roasted red bell peppers and putting them on the steak. They're kind of hard to get out, y'all. But I'm just going to rip them in like half and just put maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 little slices of them in the middle. Why am I using my hands? I don't know. These are things that are really hard to grab a hold of. So there we go. We have our steak, then our basil pesto, and then our cheese, and then our roasted red bell peppers. And lastly, you're just going to take like a handful of your spinach and kind of lay it out on top of your entire piece of meat. You don't want it too thick, but you know spinach shrinks a lot, especially when it's cooked. So, just going to put a good amount, but not too much, on our little roll up. So the last step of this is you're going to start at one end and just roll your steak up into a nice little roll. It's got all of your yummy ingredients contained inside, and it's ready to be popped into your air fryer. I already know that this is gonna taste so good. It smells delicious already. Oh my golly. One thing I forgot to do on the first two that I had to go back and do was, you know, add some salt and pepper, because I am an idiot. Just a little bit of salt and some pepper. Just give it a little bit of flavoring. And just continue on like normal. Just don't forget to add salt and pepper. It'll give it a little bit of a nice taste. Can we first admire how pretty these are? Even though they haven't been cooked yet, they're gonna taste so good. I already know it. The next step of this process is sticking it in the air fryer. So the first thing I'm gonna do before I preheat it is just pull out this center basket. And I am just going to use a little bit of coconut oil and spray it on the little rack in the bottom, just so it doesn't stick. Just going to hold it up and just spray it real lightly. And now I'm just going to stick it back in the air fryer, and I'm going to preheat it to 400 degrees because we're going to cook this for about, I'm guessing, 5 to 10 minutes on each side of the little meat rolls. This air fryer only takes about 3 minutes to preheat, so I have it set at 400 degrees, and it says just preheat it for about 3 or 4 minutes, and when the heating light shuts off, it will be ready to stick your food in. I believe it is heated, so what I'm going to do is pull out this tray. It's very hot, so I'm just going to set it right here. Since my little meat things were a lot bigger than I anticipated, I didn't realize this meat was that big, y'all. Oh well. So I'm gonna use this tong to set them in here gently so I don't burn myself. Just gonna set it right there. I'm going to put this back in the air fryer and set the timer for 10 minutes. And then we're going to check on how it's cooking. So we have a few minutes for this to cook. So you know what that means. Alexa, play Christmas music.
The station holiday favorites from Amazon Music.
It's been about 8 minutes. I decided to stop it 2 minutes early. Since this is a new recipe, I wanted to pull it out and check on how it's looking. Well, it has opened up just a little bit. I apparently did not wrap it well, but I'm going to flip it over and let it continue cooking for a couple more minutes. It has been about 4 minutes since I flipped this back over. We're going to check on it, and it looks like it is definitely done. Maybe a little bit too well cooked, so I'll have to, you know, make some notes on the second one that I try. I am going to grab my tongs, just FYI, for contamination purposes. Make sure you wash these when you're going from handling raw meat to handling fully cooked meat. No cross-contamination, no food poisoning. Meat tips with Kat. It would be best to let this steak sit and rest for maybe 10 minutes or so to get the full flavor of this. This time, we're trying 2. Let's see how it goes. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed getting to see how to make these steak roll-ups. They smell delicious, they taste delicious. Here's a little up close and personal shot of when you cut into these. Oh, I just spilled some on the floor. My dogs are gonna love that. But they are so pretty. This is probably the ugliest of the 3 that I cooked. I cooked the second 2 for 8 minutes and then 5 minutes after I flipped them, and they turned out perfect. If you are interested in getting your own Avalon Bay air fryer, don't forget to check out the description down below. I have a code for 50% off of one of these. It's a deal you don't want to miss out on. There is so many different low carb and keto recipes that you can make in this air fryer. I've seen people do like crispy broccoli, Brussels sprouts, really anything, meat. I joined a group on Facebook that does low carb air fryer recipes, and there's some really good recipes on there that I am going to be putting to the test. If you enjoyed this recipe in today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all again real soon with another video. Bye guys. Mwah.